the 912, 926, and the 1024. Those are the three. But they've all been edited, so they should be okay this time.
Good. I'm glad you're.
Hasn't been easy getting it to work lately. I don't know why. Plug and play.
Good.
Hasn't.
I got you.
Okay, thank you.
Heater on?
Yes, next door. So the girls have office heaters. Yeah, I gotta go make sure they're unplugged.
Yeah.
You did want a new village hall, right?
That was a couple years ago.
We have a fire investigator in town, Jason Karazinski, so I have to watch what I say and do.
So my comment on the game yesterday is,
Why didn't we just take a safety?
oh, no, I'm not that
Oh.
specific. It's more like, it's never boring.
No. it isn't. No. Not good for your heart, but it's
Sure, it's good.
find myself up in front of the TV, my wife says, come back and sit down. You used to be able to, you know, then they go maybe to days in there. And bed is like 5. I think it does about 100.
It's low.
No, about 100.
There we go.
Wow. I thought when the Super Bowl was on, they were going to Super Bowl tickets were going on to come down to my house because
Yeah,
they knew the pastor was outside.
Yeah.
You smell it?
Yeah.
I just do it. Oh.
Yeah, I smelled one at my house when it came out.
Only
Yeah.
small.
I smell them like one around the corner there, Caitlin's.
Oh,
They're
really?
everywhere.
They must be everywhere.
Back before I moved here, though, in the middle '80s, I used to
All right.
work in a concession stand that did those games.
Do
I have one.
you have one? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I have one you gave me, but I didn't make copies of
Do you want more copies? I can print out a bunch.
it.
Or do you just want to do them one at a time?
Yeah, we'll just
Okay.
do one at a time. I'll do one. I'll do it today.
Good decision point.
Yeah, they want to do that as well.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. There he is.
So we,
I was there. I was there.
Shaved.
What's new, Sue?
Um,
Work today, I thought.
I was in and out of there 3 different times, but I didn't have to
Well,
work.
it should be.
We
so
worked all
much
weekend,
more.
Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday.
How'd they make up Sunday?
Sunday was well.
Yeah.
We still did over $1,000, but it wasn't
Oh, wow.
crazy like Saturday. Saturday was shoulder to shoulder. There were people just jammed in there and I was just checking people out as fast as I could.
Okay,
We did just over $5,000 for these 3 days.
that's great.
Yeah. Yep. And we decided we've got enough stuff left and it's still, it was easy for Mary to fill back in from the stuff that we had in stock.
Right.
We're gonna open up again the weekend that the fire department does their thing and Deanie does hers.
Let me know when you want to
So
call.
I'm gonna
Okay.
talk to the mayor and Kevin and see if maybe they can put
This one in.
on the
I was
sign,
trying to get it on and then it's giving me a signal.
try and do a bunch of Facebook posts.
Right. Yeah, everything has been,
But we figured, if we have
Live
people there,
stream
if we only sell a few $100s worth of stuff.
nothing seems to want to work
So what, it was more than we would have sold if we were open it up.
Right.
And it's all set up, so,
It's all volunteer.
yeah. Yep. But yeah, it was fun. There were people from out of state. There were people from Victor and Aldenville.
Wow.
Really, even way down to shop.
Game tonight.
Huh?
The game tonight.
Is that
That's tonight.
Eagles and
Washington.
Washington.
I actually think Washington like knocked him off. That Heineke get the billing.
Yeah.
He's like Fitzpatrick. He just has that magic where something's gonna
That'll
happen.
be interesting.
The Eagles are due to lose.
Yeah, they are 8-0.
8-0. Only lasts for so long.
Yeah.
Unless you're Tom Brady and then
Yeah.
you go all the way to the Super Bowl. He's-
Jalen Hurts is really good.
Yeah, he is very good.
I've been following him since he's in Alabama.
last few Monday nights? You gotta wait till fourth quarter to get a score.
Yeah.
It's been slow game.
Last night was a heartbreaker.
Wasn't it?
Oh, my God, the best game ever, except
Yeah.
like I couldn't believe it.
It is just taking the safety. Hike that
Yeah,
ball out
yeah.
of the back of the end zone.
That one field goal where we went for it. And like kicking the field goal, like throw the bear something. It's just. What could have been.
So.
Yeah.
When the interception happened at the end,
Uh-huh.
aren't there 2 quarters in overtime?
No.
Just the one, everyone gets to possess the ball once. Vikings already possessed it, they had their possession.
They'd already scored. They already.
Right. So I'm like, okay, I get.
What happened?
Look,
They've changed it for the playoffs because of the Bills last year in Kansas City, but not the regular season.
Did they change it finally? I
Yeah.
didn't know if that went through.
Yeah, they-
I'm glad it went through. Yeah, that was.
Each ball, everybody gets the ball once.
Good.
In the playoffs.
Good. Yeah, it wasn't fair last year.
Didn't seem fair.
Just need to win out now. We just went out. No harm,
You
no
lost
loss.
your optimism.
Yeah.
I don't know, the rest of our divisions was pretty tough. Few more seconds, we'll get going. Our applicant's gonna be on the phone today.
Oh, okay.
So Zoom's not working?
Pardon me?
Zoom isn't working?
Zoom's up and running. That TV is not working right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Bruce can't get Zoom to work on whatever device he's using.
All right, well, we're close enough. We'll get started. I'm Tom Jennings, the chairman of the zoning board for the village. With us today is Sue, Lori, Steve, Liz, and Ketchum, our alternate ad hoc. And Linda, our secretary, and Kevin, our building inspector. We'll get started. We only have one new application tonight. And this is for a variance at 7559 North Ontario Street. And it's Bruce Carey is the applicant. It's a new building, and he'd like to construct a 45 by 60 foot building, 1.3 feet from the south property line, where 12.5 feet are required. And this is will be on 22.3 feet of an existing footprint of building that will be torn down. So, Mr. Carey, are you on the phone? All right. Well, the way we do this is we'll allow you to present your need for a variance. Then we'll open it to public comment. I think that'll be short tonight. There aren't too many people. There's nobody here. And then we'll close it to public comment and we'll discuss it amongst ourselves. So if you want to go ahead and tell us what you want to do and why you need a variance. Okay, I think we do have a sketch of it here. All right, we'll open it to public comment. This was advertised in the neighbors sent letters, so we've done our legal duty on our end. I do have, I don't know if we're going to have anybody comment, but I do have a letter from a neighbor, and I'll just read that and I'll enter that to the record. And this is addressed to the code enforcement officer, members of the board. And it says that Mr. Carey's a good neighbor and has helped the village in many ways. I did not know about this request until yesterday, or I would have discussed it with Bruce personally. For two reasons, I must oppose the requested variance. One, I have plans already drawn up for an addition to the north side of my house. Depending on the final choice, it could extend 40 feet west, which would bring it very close to the proposed barn. And number two, we're making plans to get a dog, which means erecting a fence. The space between the fence and the new building, if built according to the plans on the variance request, would not be adequate for maintenance on either the fence or the new building. And it says we look forward to the new building and hope that it can be built according to the code at a 12.5 foot setback. And that's Patricia Costanzo. So we'll enter that in the record. We do have somebody, is that you, Patricia, on the call? Okay, I can ask you. Hold on. Did that pop up for you?
It is. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I could not hear a thing that Bruce said. I heard a little tiny squeaks and squawks, but the microphone was not close enough to his voice for me to hear anything he said. And if he's on the line now, it's hi, Bruce. I think you're really great. And I wouldn't mind hugging you, but I don't want to hug your building.
Well, I think what you missed then probably was, at this point, he's proposing it 6 foot off the line instead of 1.5 feet.
You want me to put him back on speaker?
Sure.
Okay, Bruce, one sec. All right, you're back on speaker and we can relay to her through TJ. Go ahead.
Right. Okay, Bruce, yeah, Bruce, you have to realize that it was advertised at 1.3 foot off the line. So that's the nature of the variance that's been advertised.
It's just because we advertise before planning board reacts, because we have to advertise 2 weeks in advance. So I advertise before the planning board meeting even happens. So I don't know what the planning board decides. And then at the planning board, I can't go back and change the advertisement. So we advertise the original application and then whatever planning board decides, we discuss here at zoning. So now the change was Bruce had suggested it being 6 foot off the property line.
And Patricia, did you, that's probably what you missed when you couldn't hear Bruce originally?
Yeah, well, I missed everything he said. Now you're saying that instead of a 1.3, it should be a 6 foot?
Yeah, well, that's what the zoning, or excuse me, that's what the planning board, when he went before the planning board asked that it was 6 foot off the line and that he had a couple of windows on the south side, if I'm reading the notes correctly. And that would get, and that pushes him in almost 5 feet from the advertised variance.
So then it would be 6'3"?
No, well, I think we're just, at this point, nothing's final, but the planning board has suggested it'd be at least 6 foot off the line.
Well, that sounds fairly reasonable to me, but I don't understand what the windows are for.
Light and ventilation. We always try and it's just a code enforcement thing for a residential structure. We always try and have as much light and ventilation as possible in a structure. And he had suggested on the, is that the
And also
No, that'd
because
be the
they were going
west.
to store cars there.
west side, right? Is that the west side?
Yes,
Outside.
South side is where the windows go?
That's what.
Okay.
south side, right.
Go ahead.
So on that south side, he was saying the windows would be high enough off the ground. He doesn't have to worry about security reasons. And then it suffices for us for if he needs any kind of light or ventilation, natural light, if the power's out or anything, or if he can't get to a light switch, and then ventilation, if he's got a car running, he's got ventilation for the car.
Fine, well, fine. The windows are something that you can address. And
Yeah.
to me, the 6 foot setback sounds more reasonably acceptable.
Okay, thank you for your comment. You can continue to listen on if you choose.
No, I think I'm finished. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anybody else, public comment? I don't see anybody else on the call. There's nobody here. So we'll close it the public comment at this point and discuss it amongst ourselves. I guess I mean, I walked it off this afternoon and I do see what Bruce is saying about the elevation. That spot is humped up pretty good compared with the rest of the lot. I was totally against the 1 foot setback, but I could probably live with a 6 foot setback.
I agree.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to bring in Phil to go back 60 feet, right?
I assume so. Yeah.
Because it's pretty downhill.
Yeah.
198 wide lot. I just don't think it's really. you know, we got all these 40 and 50-foot lots all over town, and yeah, you give them a variance to try and make it so they can make it work, but if you measure it off, 46 feet, if you go from 12 and a half, all it does is bring it over to the edge of the scrubby stuff. It's not encroaching on the lawn,
Mhm.
and then going back and all that scrubby stuff. I know,
It's a big lot.
yeah. And Kevin, I got another question. I just noticed this. It says 46 feet, but it doesn't include that little bump out. So how big is it? Bump?
Bruce, did you hear the question? How big is the lean-to that's on the north side of the structure? You,
It's 8 feet, and it's 30 feet long, and that's just a little shed for my wife for all her cleaning supplies, sheets, everything.
Yeah, thanks.
Where is that? How does it, okay, so. This is 40,
What they're saying
So
is
it's
that's-
like
that's
60
not
feet
even
here.
dimensions.
Yeah, so 60
yeah, it's
feet
not
back
in
in
the
there.
dimensions, but it doesn't,
4 feet wide.
I don't know that it comes in.
This is 4.
So we gotta remember is that he has an original footprint here.
okay, so then
So
it comes back out here. like
this whole section
Okay,
here,
so it's-
Technically this section, all this
So this
doesn't
is what you
contemplate
see.
zoning, so it's really just this back portion. So you'd be jogging over. So you'd be making, if, you know, if you're holding to the fire.
Understand what Kevin's saying there?
No,
Of course, the existing building, in the 1.3 or 1.1, whatever it is off the line right now. He could build that part on the line if he wanted to, because it's existing.
So he could build,
but it would have to be 22 feet by 38.
Yeah, it would just be an L-shaped building if he was gonna do that, because I'm not telling you, I'm just saying it would be 22 by, well, it could be the 22 by
Come over
whatever,
here,
and then
yeah.
it would be 12 and a half.
Then he would only need a variance on the back, on the south side.
Mhm.
Or if he went over 12 and a half feet, he wouldn't need a
Or,
variance.
yeah,
I'm still not understanding what.
He could build on the existing footprint.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if he went over on the backside, if he went over 12 feet from the south line, to get his 60 feet, then he wouldn't need a variance.
all right,
yeah, so if you did this,
right, so he would have,
if this was 12 and a half,
this is 22, so
you
he
could
had
do that,
a little less than 40 feet long, behind the existing.
you'd be
Right.
Yeah.
legal, because this is existing footprint, so we can't say anything to him on the front portion. That's still, who's finding it, still?
Not me.
I think that's mine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had a question on how wide the gravel drive is at where the old barn is right now, because it hangs off the edge. I'd like to know how wide that is.
What was the question?
How wide is the gravel drive from north to south at the old barn?
So, just at the barn, you could see. It's like
What's your thought?
I have the same concerns that Sue does, based on the size of the lot.
But if they did like Kevin said, built on the old footprint and then do
Yeah,
an addition on the
right.
back, then we, yeah. Might have to happen to the neighbor.
Bruce, I guess the discussion here is, with such a large lot and starting from scratch, taking the old building down, it's kind of hard to believe that you couldn't live with the 12.5 foot setback on the south side. And it's kind of what we're discussing, whether
Okay, so unbeknownst probably to you guys, people walk like my council days. So they one big guy. So this lets me
you're at the right place.
well,
It's a good night. We don't have a fence issue. off my name. So then again, if they put the issue,
That's true.
Yeah. Well,
go a foot and a half off the line just because the law says you can, wouldn't that look ridiculous?
I hear you. Okay, let's get the easy part done here. Since this was advertised at a 1.3 foot setback, basically, let's have a motion on the variance as advertised. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the application as submitted at 1.3 feet from the south
Okay.
property line.
I second that.
Okay. Everybody in favor of the variance as proposed, say aye. Everybody against, nay?
Hey,
Okay.
Okay. So Bruce, that's housekeeping on our part. Okay, all right. Well, now. Okay, now. What do we want to do with that building? Do you believe that the lot's big enough that it can live with a 12.5 foot setback?
I believe so, but if the neighbor's the one most affected by it, and if she's okay with 6 feet and if we're preventing the possibility of building on the original footprint, and then
Nothing back.
extending back, which would totally,
6 1/2 dozen.
yeah, which is not what we want.
Yeah.
Not what he wants and not what she wants. So that wouldn't accomplish it.
Well, and if you look at the criteria that we have to consider, I mean, really, it says we want to take into consideration the benefit to the applicant as weighed against a detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the community. I don't think that there's any detriment to moving it from, or having it at 6 feet versus 12 feet. It still is, it's a big lot, but still, I don't think that the grade, that it is warrants.
Right.
Saying that you have to have 12
You
and
can
it,
look at the other way and say it's an improvement, that it's
yeah,
another 3.5 feet off the line.
right, exactly. And it's a new building.
Yeah.
It's sad that the old thing has to come down, but it's,
The old building kind of went with your cars. Let me ask you a question about drainage off the roof. Your roof is going to drain to the east and the west. That is a pretty steep grade going down to your neighbor's lot next door. What are your plans there? Gutters and? Yeah. Okay.
Can I ask a favor before you make a motion? So if you guys grant a variance, he's still, Bruce wouldn't, I don't believe Bruce would do it, but it's still good practice to have because there are some that might. If he has a variance, he still has that 190/18, so he could get the variance and then he could come back and still build on the footprint. So could you ask if he would waive that before you make the motion?
Okay.
Just, so we have it in record that he's waiving the 190/18. And it's not, you're not bargaining, it's just, I don't want him to,
Right, just straight bearing.
yeah.
Okay, any other concerns? No? Glenn, do you get this?
That's the code that we're weaving.
Okay, somebody wanted to make a motion?
I will.
Okay,
Okay, I make a motion that we ask Mr. Carey to waive the right on, as stated in 190/18, to build on the footprint and to grant him a 6-foot variance on the south side of his property to build the 46 by 60 foot pole barn.
That's
fancy solar. Okay, Bruce, you understand the, not? Okay, great. Okay. So,
I'll second that.
okay, Sue's gonna second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, 5 ayes. You're good to go.
all right, thank you.
Speak, Kevin. He'll help you
Very
get
much.
going.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
thank you.
he'll go back to planning one more time, but I'm working with Jeff Sherman, to get what we need for it.
Okay. All right.
All right, filling this out, how do we do this? Do it so
So it's up to you if the board wants to, you can put the whole thing on there where
we deny it?
denied the initial at 1.3, accepted the motion of the 6 foot, and then added that condition of waiving 190.
All right,
And then what Bruce did was, he didn't pass it around to all the board members, but he read it off to them. So it's up to you guys if you want to pass it around and sign it or whatever you want to do. And then that'll go in that folder and then that'll be rescanned and given to planning on our website. So because it's over 20,000, he has to have stamp plans. That's what I'm working out with Jeff Norris. Okay. Before the final approval. Now that we know where it's.
Okay, this is the letter. Okay, that's it for new business. We have a slew of minutes here to talk about. The first minutes that we need to look at and approve are from 9/12. And I think we've had 2 or 3 additions to those, Linda.
Yes,
Okay. And
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes from 9/12 as edited.
I'll second it.
okay, everybody in favor?
I,
Okay. Then the next one are from 9/26. Same thing, we made some additions or corrections to that one that's been circulated.
And Kevin, you weren't here for the 9/26 or on Zoom, is that right? So you're not listed.
What was that one? What was the application? I can tell you if that's here or not.
hold on.
Yeah, right there.
Might have been when Matt came and it was.
Yeah.
Sean, that one, that's, well, he asked for a
It was
continuance.
for the continuance.
Oh, yeah, it was.
He bails on that one.
Yeah, he was just asking for the continuance. That
Yep.
wasn't-
I would.
Okay, so I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes for 9/26.
Okay.
As edited.
I second.
Okay, Lynn, second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous. And then the last one is from 10/24, and I think that's when Sean was here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not ready to approve those minutes.
No?
No.
Okay. Got a couple more corrections you'd like to see?
Yeah.
Okay. You're aware of that, Linda?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we'll postpone that till the next time. Anything new come down the pipe?
Trying to think if I know of anything. I don't think so, not right now.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Alright. Any old stuff that can really swear? I see our friend in Wickham is
Steve?
He's gonna have his driveway over into.
He's him and Robbie worked that out.
Oh, did they? Okay.
I've asked Robbie if he wants anything done and says no.
Okay.
They've got it worked out.
Anything else?
I think so, I think we're in good shape. Yeah, I can't think of anything right now.
Okay. All right.
wait, you guys, we gotta sign these things.
Okay.
And what's happening with signs?
Signs.
You're gonna check with $5.
The $5 sign, yeah. I called him, left a message after the last meeting, and haven't followed up on it. Tried to follow up. Haven't heard anything back yet.
And what? Bruce's neighbor that spoke, she didn't get anything about this.
No, she had to, because the letters went out. They went out as soon as the advertisement.
Well, where do they go?
So they go, so on the cover sheet was wrong, but I go off pictometry. So like it's me.
I
go
see
to
she doesn't live here.
so I hand them to Melanie, once I read it up, and if there's any addresses wrong, Melanie corrects them. So she had to have gotten a letter. It's
I
impossible.
talked to her over the weekend. She did not get.
I haven't gotten it right now. And so if you, yeah, I'll show you.
No, I believe you. I'm not
That's
saying
the
that.
point. And I'm concerned about this too, that it came through that she said, I just found out about this.
Yeah,
We're a resort community.
Mhm.
I was thinking if they sent a letter to my neighbors, who are my 5 cousins, who knows where that's gonna end up? And so I put in a 3-story garage next to them, and they come back and find out we didn't do it. So I think we really need the sign. And
but the signs don't
It's not
do any
gonna
good.
help.
at a B, if you're the applicant, you have to somehow prove that you've told your neighbor. Because you know where to find him.
Mhm.
Come on. And Bruce is a good guy, but he'd know where to find him.
Use of tax address.
So that's why Melanie uses water and sewer. So like when I hand her the letters, she just corrects anything that's wrong. But I can show you the bin back here anytime there's a return mail that they don't refuse.
It's
to
it's not the problem. It's not the problem. We believe that you're doing
Yeah.
your thing. Got it.
Yeah,
I totally get it. But people aren't getting it. And so can that be an applicant's responsibility? And then it ties into where you get in writing, I agree with this. If you're an applicant and you talk to your 4 neighbors or 3 neighbors or 2 neighbors, they're gonna know about it. If you need something in writing, a simple little form, I agree with this, I don't agree. And if you don't agree with it, then you don't sign it, and we know that there's an issue.
the only thing I run into is I have to send letters based on the code book. Code book says I have to send letters. So you would have to change the zoning law. So that's 12 months to change zoning law.
All right,
So-
well then, let's just keep it the way it is. Obviously,
No, I mean,
it's not good.
If you want to change it, that's fine, but just know it's gonna take, I have to at least keep doing that. And then I'm required by New York State law to put it in the paper, put it on our website, put it out in front on the bulletin board, and then I put it at the post office.
Okay, and that's great. But you live in Tarpon Springs, Florida, in the winter. You're not gonna see.
Oh, no, I agree,
anything.
I agree.
Any of it.
And
I
nobody
think
checks
the
the paper.
signs will help a little bit, because I think your neighbor will probably call you up and say, hey,
You're, you know, so-and-so.
you know what's going on next door?
Yeah. Well, they scare
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
They think that the house is gonna get, you know, sold, shut down.
Chickens,
down,
they're bringing chickens in or horses.
Yeah. No, I agree, it always scares people.
I don't know, it's not that hard to check the website once a week or once every 2 weeks, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you don't,
You know,
unless you know
I
what's
don't do
coming, you're
Yeah.
not gonna look at it, and that's the problem. I had somebody tell me just last week, and this was back with Halligan's pole barn. They never found out. They had no idea
Hmm.
until they came back from Florida and it was already built.
Yeah.
You know, so they would have argued against it had they known, because it was 2 feet off the line, so, you know, so it's not just one up, huh?
G or Peter?
It was, Pete.
Pete?
Yeah, Pete.
Did
On
we-
Fourth Street.
Was it?
Yeah, it was 2 feet off the,
It's close, it's,
Yeah.
I think it's concrete slabs, he's got a patio.
He's got, yeah, I don't think a barn. I don't know, I don't remember the
Well,
application.
I walked back there just recently. Dog went into their house, so I.
Oh, geez.
They,
That's how you get your complaints.
yeah,
And that's why we need fences.
well, and the Michaelsons are back up to them and they didn't complain.
No.
You know, they didn't, they never said anything.
Well, I had talked to Dennis about that when it was going on. To make sure he knew, because I didn't want to.
When Jim Redmond built that huge
Did you
pole
get a
barn,
letter when,
people didn't know.
Good Point?
Yes, I did get a letter from Good Point.
Did you get a letter for,
Gary?
and I'm not just sending it to you guys to prove we're doing something.
I got a letter for something,
Who?
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe,
the
Oh,
lady,
it
the
would have
lady next
been-
door.
Oh, yeah.
You shared it there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it only planning boards, only zoning boards?
It's anytime you do a public hearing, if there's a public hearing, I have to sign it according to the code book. Well, let me tell you, 'cause I don't want to say, yeah, it's anyone who touches the property. And if there's, so like the lodge, for example, you have 28 or 4 properties in front, so I just sent to all 4. If I don't know, I don't want to just pick one and expect that one to talk to the other 3, so I send it to all 4. Well, I'll tell you what it says. They don't honestly.
Yeah, I called her to make sure that she knew how to Zoom and she didn't know anything about it.
I guess, Kevin, I understand all the law.
Yeah.
But sometimes the law doesn't
Isn't
work
enough.
right.
Well, yeah, it's not like it used to be when this was wrote in 1980.
Road.
Written, sorry. Actually, don't know when it was written.
So we should get the signs, put them up.
Yeah.
I
think
also
that-
think that you can get signs that what do you call those markers? That you can then just wipe clean,
Oh, yeah.
magic marker or dry erase or
Right,
whatever.
yeah.
And just write on it, go to website, something is affecting this property, and it doesn't become
So
such
it
a big
makes sense.
big project.
I think most of those are generic. They just say that there's.
This under review.
Property under review. Under
Okay.
review, could be a special permit.
I have a question, because we had no idea where this was gonna sit. So I pulled up the site plan approval and special permits section of 19049, and it says, even for a preliminary site plan review, if it's over 20,000, it should have show the location, proposed height, and building lot, height of all buildings, location of parking, and all that stuff. So we didn't have that, Kevin. Even with a preliminary, we have to have that. So my question is, do we have to ask for this stuff? I mean, there was really no way until we knew what we were looking at to approve it. So I don't understand why we shouldn't
Yeah,
have,
should go there once it's all done.
why we shouldn't have it up front. Why the applicant should not provide a full application up front.
So if you think it's ever not a full application, you guys get it over a week in advance or a week in advance. So you can tell me as soon as you see it, just say I need X, Y, or Z, or if you don't want to hear it, just say it's not enough.
The
I just-
planning board changed it, was the planning board.
Hmm.
The ones. that
No,
changed-
yeah, she's
No,
saying,
You're talking about like an engineer's drawing.
no, I think she's saying that even
Yeah.
from the inception.
Location, proposed use and kind of all buildings, location of all parking and truck loading areas, access and express drives, location of outdoor storage, location of all existing or proposed site improvements, including sidewalks, colors, walls and fences. So all these things, I mean, at the very least, we should have had this to begin with.
So originally,
It could have been out in the middle of the backyard.
originally you guys had, it was going on the existing footprint. It was going on this. So this is what he came in. I asked him, was it going on this footprint, going back 60 feet? He said, yes, it was going back 60 feet.
Yeah, but it doesn't show.
I understand what you're saying. So when I asked the planning board if that sufficed, the planning board made the decision that that was enough for them to make their decision, and they wanted it 6 foot. So then when I send it to you guys, if you want something different, just tell me, and I'll get whatever you guys want to make your determination. If it's not enough, if you guys say this isn't enough to make a decision, then tell me, and I'll just postpone the meeting, or I'll ask them for the materials.
The code says it's not. enough.
Yeah, the code- I'm just saying what the code says, whether it's planning or zoning.
And what's
They
the,
should have asked for it. I don't know how they could have made a decision without them asking for it.
what's the number? It's got to be over 25 to do.
20,000.
The drawing.
20,000 is New York State education law. It needs stamp prints. So you're saying that you wanted what, a site plan done by an engineer for?
Well, at the very least, just, to show the boundaries of the property plotted to scale.
So that's what this is. Okay.
And a site plan showing location, proposed use and height of all buildings, location of parking. At the very least, we should have gotten this up front.
Okay.
Because there was no way, and there would have been no way for the planning board to see it either, unless they had asked for it.
I provided this. If they felt that way, they should have said something.
We really don't have, well, we do have one height dimension.
No, I think what Lori's saying is she wants that up front. Just tell me that then, when I send it to you on Tuesday, say we don't have enough.
So the height at the peak, do we know what the height at the peak is?
No, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
14 to E.
We got 14 to the E.
Because we have a height restriction too. You know, over the height we can allow.
That's probably Probably 20 or under to the feet. Okay. All right, so I guess we don't know when our next meeting is.
No, I don't have anything for
Okay.
next meeting. right now.
Motion to dismiss. Adjourn. All in favor?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Otherwise, the meeting would be the 28th.
Yeah, the 28th.
Yeah, we never know. It's a little email town.
Who made it?
Well, Mark said adjourn.
No, that's fine.
He was correcting dismiss, but I guess I gave you a motion.
I thought you.
I can't say it.
Oh, that's right, he said,
Yeah,
okay,
he said hot.
I'll make the motion that we adjourn.
I'll
Somebody
second.
In second.
Oh, sure, the planning board, and then you can do that.